Welcome to Global Hub Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The South China Sea is boiling. The wind howls across the waves, carrying with it the tension of nations on edge. This is no ordinary day on these waters. Today, November 5th, 2025, tension is a physical force across the waves. The air is heavy, charged with anticipation and anxiety, as ships from rival nations maneuver in these contested waters. A Chinese Coast Guard vessel just swerved in front of a smaller Philippine supply boat, a move as bold as it is dangerous. The two ships come within meters of each other, steel hulls slicing through the churning sea. The Filipino crew brace for impact, knuckles white on the railings, eyes fixed on the looming threat. Every second feels stretched, every movement calculated. Horns blared, a frantic sound in the vast emptiness. The blaring echoes across the water, a warning and a challenge, as if the sea itself is crying out. This is Scarborough Shoal. More than rocks and coral, it's a flashpoint. Here, history, pride, and power collide in a struggle that could shape the region for decades. Here, a superpower's ambitions clash with a smaller nation's rights. The standoff is not just about territory, but about sovereignty, dignity, and the right to exist without fear. The world is watching, wondering if this is the spark that ignites a larger fire. Newsrooms buzz, analysts debate, and leaders weigh their next moves as the crisis unfolds in real time. Scarborough Shoal sits just 124 nautical miles off the Philippine coast, well within its exclusive economic zone. For the Philippines, this is not just a matter of pride, but of law and survival, yet Beijing claims it, citing ancient maps most of the world rejects. The dispute is as much about history and narrative as it is about geography. Whoever controls this shoal dominates the South China Sea, a vital artery for global trade. Trillions of dollars in goods pass through these waters every year, making this more than a local dispute. China's presence here is no accident. It's a deliberate strategy, a show of force meant to assert dominance and test the resolve of its neighbors. Chinese vessels block Filipino fishermen, use water cannons, and test the resolve of Manila and Washington. Each encounter is a message: we are here, and we are not leaving. Each act is a test of Philippine resolve, American commitment, and international law. The world's rules are on trial, and the outcome is far from certain. The situation escalates, encounter by encounter. Every standoff, every maneuver, brings the region closer to the brink. This isn't just about rocks. It's about the future of the Indo-Pacific. The balance of power, the freedom of the seas, and the fate of millions hang in the balance. Will rules govern the seas, or raw power? The answer will echo far beyond these waters, shaping the world order for years to come. President Marcos Jr. refuses to back down, sending patrols and resupply missions. His message is clear: the Philippines will not be bullied, not today, not ever. But every mission is a gamble. One miscalculation could spiral into war between a U.S. ally and a nuclear-armed power. The stakes could not be higher. The stakes are high, the risks real. Every sailor, every commander, knows that a single mistake could change history. The air is thick with tension. The world waits, breath held, for what comes next. Scarborough Shoal is now the front line. Here, the fate of nations and the rules of the sea are being decided, moment by moment, wave by wave. China is waging a war in the South China Sea, a war without bullets. This is the world of gray zone tactics, using Coast Guard and maritime militia, not warships. Disguised as fishing boats, these vessels swarm disputed areas, intimidate, and establish control. The ambiguity paralyzes other nations. Was that ramming an act of war, or law enforcement? China operates just below the threshold of conflict, slowly annexing the sea. Its Coast Guard is the world's largest, built for intimidation. By blocking Philippine ships, Beijing tries to create a new reality. This is our territory now. The goal is to make resistance too costly. For now, China believes it's winning. Washington's response was swift and decisive, reflecting the urgency of the situation. As tensions flared in the region, the USS Hopper, a state-of-the-art guided missile destroyer, was promptly diverted to the strategically significant South China Sea. Its mission was clear and critical, a freedom of navigation operation aimed at asserting international maritime rights. The message from the United States is unequivocal. The U.S. will not allow any nation to unilaterally control international waters, ensuring free passage for all. The Hopper's presence is more than just symbolic. It's a vital component of America's broader Indo-Pacific strategy, reinforcing its commitment to regional stability. U.S. warships regularly challenge China's expansive maritime claims, demonstrating a collective international rejection of such assertions. Equipped with advanced radar and missile systems, the USS Hopper serves as both a deterrent to potential aggressors and a reassurance to U.S. allies in the region. The 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty with the Philippines has been reaffirmed, now explicitly covering any attacks in the South China Sea, strengthening regional alliances. The Hopper's arrival is a tangible promise of support and a significant escalation in the stakes involved. However, the U.S. must carefully balance its actions to deter China without inadvertently provoking a larger conflict. The Hopper is expected to sail within 12 nautical miles of a Chinese-held feature, a move asserting its legal rights under international law. Predictably, China will protest and shadow the ship, a common occurrence in these tense waters. The risk of miscalculation between these nuclear powers is a constant concern, with potential global implications. The South China Sea has become a theater for great power competition, with each move closely watched by the international community. The USS Hopper stands resolute on the front line, a symbol of American resolve and commitment to maintaining peace and stability in the region. Beyond geopolitics, the conflict has a human face. Filipino fishermen like Roberto Martinez. For decades, Scarborough Shoal was his livelihood. Now Chinese Coast Guard ships intimidate and endanger him. Massive waves, blaring horns, and water cannons keep fishermen out of the lagoon. Forced to fish in rougher waters, catches have plummeted and incomes have collapsed. Coastal villages are struggling, young people see no future in fishing. The sea, once a source of bounty, is now a source of fear. This is not just economic loss, it's cultural erasure. Fishermen feel abandoned, outgunned, and alone. Every trip is an act of defiance. Their courage is immense, but their future is uncertain. They are the forgotten victims in this high-stakes game. The human cost is real. The Philippines' foreign policy has shifted dramatically under President Marcos Jr. Gone is the appeasement of China. Manila is back in Washington's orbit. Marcos has empowered the military and Coast Guard to challenge China's tactics. He's made Chinese harassment public, exposing Beijing's actions. The U.S. now has expanded access to Philippine bases, including sites near Taiwan and the South China Sea. This provides the U.S. with crucial staging grounds for any crisis. The new policy is high risk, high reward. By standing up to China and strengthening U.S. ties, Marcos is raising the Philippines' profile and its risks. The outcome will shape the region's security for decades. The Philippines is now on the front line of great power rivalry. The Philippines is not alone. Marcos's pivot has sparked a web of alliances. Japan, Australia, and the U.S. are deepening ties. Japan provides patrol vessels. Australia conducts joint patrols. The first U.S.-Japan-Philippines trilateral summit pledged deeper cooperation. The Quad, U.S., Japan, Australia, India, has been revitalized, conducting joint exercises and coordinating on security. The message to Beijing democracies are uniting to uphold the rules-based order. These alliances create integrated deterrence. Aggression against one will meet a coordinated response. For Manila, this means security and a stronger voice. The South China Sea is now a central concern for a growing coalition. The balance of power is shifting. In 2016, the Permanent Court of Arbitration ruled for the Philippines, rejecting China's 9-dash line. The decision affirmed Scarborough Shoal is within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. It condemned China's interference and island building. The ruling was a landmark for international law. China rejected it outright, calling it a sham and doubling down on its actions. Beijing's disregard for the ruling is a crisis for the global order. If powerful nations ignore binding judgments, what hope for smaller states? The fight to enforce the ruling is now about the principle that all nations are equal under the law. Manila, backed by allies, is enforcing its rights through presence and resolve. The legal battle has become a test of will. Tensions in the South China Sea are escalating, and they are closely linked to another major flashpoint in the region, Taiwan. The waters here are not just a battleground for territorial claims, but a stage for great power rivalry, with the fate of millions hanging in the balance. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has issued a stark warning. Any conflict over Taiwan would inevitably pull the Philippines into the fray, whether it wants to be involved or not. His words reflect deep concern about the nation's vulnerability. The northernmost islands of the Philippines are less than 100 miles from Taiwan, so close that the consequences of any military action would be felt almost immediately on Philippine soil. An invasion or conflict in Taiwan would unfold right on Manila's doorstep, threatening to unleash waves of refugees, disrupt trade, and cause military spillover that could destabilize the entire region. U.S. military bases in the Philippines would become critical assets in any Taiwan crisis, making the country a frontline state and a potential target in a wider war. China views the growing U.S.-Philippine alliance as a direct threat to its ambitions regarding Taiwan, and has responded with increased military activity and diplomatic pressure. Beijing's pressure on Manila is not just about territory, it's also a warning against Manila's pivot toward Washington, which China sees as undermining its regional influence. The two flashpoints, the South China Sea and Taiwan, are deeply intertwined. A crisis in one could easily ignite conflict in the other, creating a chain reaction across Asia. President Marcos faces a daunting challenge, defending Philippine sovereignty and security, while trying to avoid being drawn into a catastrophic great power war. His warning is more than just a statement, it is a heartfelt plea to the world, emphasizing that the stakes for the Philippines, and for the region, are immense and growing. The Philippines now stands at the very center of Asia's most dangerous crossroads, where the interests of global powers collide, and the risks of miscalculation are higher than ever. The world must take heed of these warnings. The consequences of inaction or misjudgment could be felt far beyond Asia's shores. In this volatile environment, the next spark could come from anywhere, at any time, reminding us all how fragile peace in the region truly is. The South China Sea is balanced on a knife's edge. The risk of accident or miscalculation is dangerously high. ASEAN's efforts for a code of conduct have stalled. China prefers to deal with rivals one-on-one. Beijing's goal seems bigger than territory, to push the US out and dominate the region. China bets that relentless pressure will wear down its rivals, but this could be a catastrophic miscalculation. The future depends on deterrence and dialogue. The US and allies must show resolve, but keep lines open. This is about more than territory, it's about the rules that govern the world. The storm is gathering. The world waits to see what comes next.